Last week we were exposed to the scenery and danger of the South Australian beaches before we took in the Little Blue Lake and dined on local lobster. This week, the journey continues as we hit the Canunda National Park, where tight tracks, soft sand and endless scenic lookouts can't stop us from reaching our final destination of number 2 rocks.
Hi, are we ready?
When you're ready.
Hi, I'm Peter Taylor. I'm the National Sales Manager at RoadSafe, and this is Glenn.
Queensland Territory Manager for RoadSafe.
This is day 2 of our epic journey.
On the Limestone Coast in southeast South Australia.
Packed up at Mal and Kathleen's, said our goodbyes, got everything up and together into the trucks and headed off into Port MacDonald to get some fuel. And guess what? The town is out of power. Luckily, one of the locals said to us there's a little kiosk with a small fuel bowser as you're heading out of town.
Have a bit of a look around there. Very busy little place, obviously on the thoroughfare between Mount Gambier and Port MacDonald.
Filled up one by one and did a bit of a diversion, and so headed off a little bit later, but it was pretty cool. Weather was good.
On our way to Carpenter's Rocks, we did pass a sign where it said stock on road. Come along a mob of probably about 300 or 400 sheep.
Come across a shepherd in a Hilux.
Yeah, shepherd in a Hilux.
Heading down the highway, and what do we see?
Barbecue. No. I thought the camera crew said there's a Jeep off-road, but it turned out there were sheep on road. I misunderstood that. I thought there was another broken down Jeep. But it turned out to be sheep. Sorry. So we had to all go single file really, really slowly to make sure that we didn't stress them out.
Headed down and got started to make our way through the forest and into the hills and back down to the beach. One of the destinations that we were heading to for the day was to get out into Carpenter Rocks. We went through the pine forests and the plantations as we were getting there. Then we all of a sudden hit this sandy, dusty track, found a spot to air down.
When we arrived at Carpenter's Rocks, we knew there was a lot of sand ahead, so the whole convoy pulled over into a little parking bay just off the road.
We all pulled off there and aired down and got ready. We didn't probably air down enough yesterday, so we got a bit stuck, so Brian went with 20 this time just to be safe.
We've let our tyres down to 18 psi, and that has 4 very important effects. First of all, it improves the comfort of the occupants in the vehicle. Secondly, it protects the tyre by allowing the tyre to conform over obstacles and rocks without getting damaged. Thirdly, it increases the footprint, which increases the traction. And finally, because you've got a bigger footprint, you're protecting the environment. Now, it's not only important to let your tyres down on your vehicle when you're towing, you've got to let down the tyres on your trailer as well. That's the trailer down at 13.5 psi. We're good to go.
Jackie and Brian have traversed these tracks many, many times before, so we had some pretty good intel what we were up for, but believe me, I had no idea I was about to see the scenery that I did.
Mike, so that tight section back down through there, what's your advice for people towing a trailer?
Simon, slow and steady is probably the best advice I give to anyone towing a trailer through this area because it's not the norm. Stay away from the high side and try and keep the trailer as flat as possible. The biggest disadvantage with any trailer when towing is it doesn't have a steering wheel, especially if you're in a single axle, it's just going to want to slide.
And taking your time, having your vehicle set up right, you can quite comfortably and easily get a good camper trailer into these spots.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. And you know, really, when you look at it, you've got an electric brake system on that, which really finites your braking, which gives you a lot of control inside here. You can dial it up and get it really harsh, or you can dial it down really low and get really good control with your brakes.
Coming up to a little bit of a hill climb. It's looking a bit tight, off camber through the first section. I'm in low range, second gear. Got the centre diff lock on. Crawling nicely. Nope, not going to make that one. Gonna need a bit more momentum.
And it looks like Simon's already failed to get up in front of me. That's, yeah, he's towing a caravan, so you want to give it plenty of pepper.
Simon in the Iveco, towing the camper van, did struggle a couple of times.
Bogged, which meant he had to have another crack at it. Got down, had a look at it. We all backed up a little bit to give him a bit more run up with it.
All right, we've got a little bit of a rise now. We'll take third gear. We'll see how we go. That's better. Oh yeah.
Took a different line and got over it, and we all did the same.
That was pretty narrow, but we got through. And of course the V8, Brian's driving just powered it up. He loves it. Straight up, no problem.
So Jackie, how far through have you and Brian been on this track?
We've pretty much been right through to the end where it finishes. The whole point of telling Simon about Canunda Park is because of the mixed up terrain.
The tracks along here are amazing. They're windy, they're tight. It's a definite 100% must have a sand flag because the shrubs are tall and they're so tight.
Jackie, we've been doing some heavy driving on the sand today. How is the cryo treatment that you guys do going to toughen gears and prepare them for heavy loads like that?
Obviously this type of driving puts all your gears under strain. It gives your gears extra longevity because it changes the molecular structure of the steel. We wanted to look at strengthening the gearboxes but making it affordable. The process starts over a 24-hour period. We use liquid nitrogen to freeze and soak the product, and then it goes through a heat tempering process. Your gears should last longer. It reduces fatigue considerably. It effectively makes them more durable. I keep getting distracted with the view down there, Simon. It's pretty awesome here, isn't it?
The whole area is stunning, Jackie. Really appreciate you guys bringing us out here. It's just been magic.
It was nearing 1 o'clock. Everybody was hungry. We'd been on the road for a long time. So I was really glad to hear Mike put out a call over the radio that it was lunchtime. We knew the beach was just around the corner. Come over a beautiful sandy crest, really hard ride onto the beach. The ocean just opened up in front of you, absolutely pristine. Only to hear some cries for help from the camera crew, who may have managed to have get themselves stuck.
Oh, they're bogged over there.
They tried to drive a little further up the soft end of the beach away from the water's edge, and they picked a great spot.
We pulled up alongside the offending vehicle, no need for a winch out. Grabbed the tread boards off Simon's Iveco, shoveled out, flipped that tread board around, stick it in right underneath the tread, lifted the car out of the sand, up above it, and completely unstuck.
And then we set up for lunch, a perfect spot. We were already there, so looking out at the ocean, 2 chairs out, couldn't ask for a better location.
Absolutely fantastic. We had some rolls, some aioli, some cheese. We put out the deck chairs, sat down, looked at each other and just thought, how lucky are we?
Beautiful. It was just beach as far as you could see. It was just really enjoyable.
After lunch, it was time to hit that track again. Once we'd lined up to exit the beach, we thought we were going to take the same track out that we came in on, something that had been packed down. Simon went first and couldn't make it.
Simon in the big Iveco probably misjudged how he was getting out. But took another crack, went back a bit further and took another line, gave it a bit more pep and made it out.
It was a nice smooth curve, and then with the momentum, it went out fine.
I suppose threw down the gauntlet for the rest of us. And sometimes having a look at what he's done and go, oh, maybe I'll take it a bit wider, maybe I'll get a bit more momentum going into it. And that's just your experience. That's where you come out, have a bit of fun, and you'll work it out pretty quick.
After that, we found ourselves deep into the dunes, and when I say deep, we were deep.
She's tied all the way through, yeah?
That's amazing. Have a look at that.
Had my breath held in for that one.
That was literally millimetres, Simon.
off-camber and you're dropping down into a hole, wind the window down and touch the ground. Doesn't feel quite natural, does it?
No, not at all.
You'll have rocks on either side, and it took a bit of skill to go through. You wouldn't want to put the foot down, so we meandered through that and just went a little bit slower. And just goes to show you can take that camper anywhere, Simon.
We hit some really rocky outcrops. One in particular was a fairly steep descent, really sharp rocks, lots of washaways.
I haven't watched Simon coming down off this step off, and to watch the hybrid camper coming behind him, you're thinking, oh, that's going to be interesting. But a high-C Iveco, the height of the camper with off-road independent suspension underneath it, that's where it's going to come into its form.
Just taking it nice and handy. Oh! Oh! Too easy.
All right, shouldn't be too much further to our turn off for 2 rocks. Keep an eye out for a sign.
We turned onto this and decided we'd go down and have a look in the beach.
I was in the driver's seat when Simon said, come on, let's go and we'll go explore the beach. I said to Brian, can I drive? And he goes, yeah. He didn't say it very enthusiastically.
How's these hills? Up and down, up and down, up and down. So glad we got...
Whoopty-doos, I think Jackie called them before.
Couldn't have asked for better weather.
You're welcome. I brought it all the way from Queensland.
Looks like the beach will be just over this dune, guys. And this is sensational. Have a look at this.
Yeah, that's a good view.
Oh, and that's what I'm talking about.
You would never imagine that was around the other side of the dune.
A couple of dunes and all of a sudden the ocean opens up to you again. You're out of this scrub and you see this most magnificent beach.
Pretty special.
A beautiful stretch of beach. Well, it started out beautiful until Simon went for the hill climb up to another lookout.
Did you get up it?
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely no hope of going any further than about 10 metres once he actually hit that heavy sand.
I'm completely bogged. I'm going to need a tow out of here.
We tried backing it out to no avail.
Recovery time.
Yeah, we're going to snatch.
A lot of teamwork in play. Brad got out of his car, got into Simon's to help him with the recovery.
Then I had to move Brad's car because he parked right near the water, and then all of a sudden the tide was coming in. I got in and I could hardly reach the accelerator. Long legs.
Brian and Jackie were close by in the 360 LandCruiser. So they drove up past the Iveco to take the position as an anchor truck.
Simon was going to be a lot more practical on the ground, setting up the recovery, getting the tread boards, getting the winch out, getting it all hooked up.
Take it up a little bit.
We sat back and watched them dig
winch.
Simon out and winch Simon out.
Gentle, less accelerator.
I was just sort of feathering the winch, making sure everything was in place until Simon gave me the go-ahead. I've bogged a lot of vehicles in my time. I've bogged tractors, I've bogged trucks, I've bogged everything you can imagine. I've never bogged a 4.5 tonne truck towing a 1.5 tonne caravan in sand.
So we managed to winch him off one of the other vehicles and get him up and going, and then none of us made the same mistake. We said, all right, we'll take a wide berth of that. They finished the recovery and then put pedal to the metal and got the hell out of there.
Once Simon had made it to the top of our destination, Mike in Trek Hardware, he was next.
While I was doing all the hard work, she was sitting in an air conditioner with Mike.
Brian told us to go up the top way, but when I was with Mike, he went down the lower way on the sand. Where are we going?
I got a fair bit through it and then bang, I'm stuck, I'm bogged. When you start to get bogged, stop. Once you lose that momentum, there's only one way you're going, down.
So then he reversed back like a maniac.
I got back into reverse, rocked it a little bit, got myself back out and just reversed back down a beach. 2 attempts, but yeah, it didn't have to be recovered, so that was good.
The guys from Road Safe, they did a great job just hugging the bushes along the side, and that seemed to be the line, and then we all went up, no problem at all.
Nothing wrong, too easy.
You start to feel us go down the back, don't panic. I'll jump first, let you know when.
Got ourselves up onto the rocks, a beautiful viewing platform, and just magnificent.
Never thought I'd see anything like this.
The water is so clear, you could see every bit of seaweed inside it, all the shells moving about. I was even looking at some fish. It's absolutely incredible.
The view was sensational.
Oh, every view that we've seen here is sensational. It doesn't matter where we've stopped.
Then we decided we'd go back down. Momentum was going to help us there. We just managed to gun through it and get through all that soft sand.
Peter, that new D-Max has been a real testing bed for you guys. What do you think are some of the key accessories you've got on it now?
I would say the key accessory would have been the front upper control arms of the Black Hawk because of the correction that it does to the steering and the way the car drives. When you lift a D-Max, it goes into positive camber, so basically the wheels start to fall out. We've created a Black Hawk upper control arm that restores lost caster, gives a 3-degree decrease in camber, so it pulls the wheel straighter. The Black Hawk front upper control arms are designed for a 30 to 70 mil lift. You'll get your wheel alignment specs that you want to get in that 30 to 70 mil lift range.
We made up our little bit of a rocky crawl up to the next lookout. It's just magnificent. You're looking over the 2 little inlets, the 2 bays, just couldn't ask for a better spot.
After we departed Two Rocks Lookout, it was time to mosey our way back to camp. One thing I've noticed about the scenery along the limestone coast is it's just never ending. There's lots of bends, lots of these lookouts. The rocks are amazing. I've lived nearby and never actually ventured down here to get amongst it, so very excited for the opportunity I've been given this time round.
Number 2 rocks. Here's our turn-off.
Is this a camp tonight?
There's a sign over there that says camping area.
You had to book these campsites, which we've done.
They have segregated campsites. The views are awesome, the land's beautiful, the nature's beautiful, so we feel really privileged.
Our vehicle's there, we've got our fridges, we've got our food.
Looking forward now to having a beer and then later on having a steak.
It's a great day.
Tonight for dinner in the Austrac kitchen, we're doing steak sandwiches. Now we've got some lovely pork Scotch fillet here. We've got some fresh tomatoes, cucumber, we've got a little bit of salad, some cheese, and some Turkish rolls that are going to go absolutely mint. Steaks are getting a lovely bit of colour on them. We've got to get them into nice portions, ready for the sandwich. And a little secret ingredient before we finish up. And there you have it, a pork steak sandwich, full drop TV style, courtesy of the Austrac kitchen. Enjoy.